Let's not siege like personal weapons. We have javelin right now, and uh, spear, javelin, and arrows. But I was thinking more like slings would be added, and then there would be
Yeah. We know for
different
a fact that crossbows
personal
is
weapons.
most
We
likely
have
not gonna come
javelin right
anytime
now,
soon, and
and
if it's gonna come, it's gonna be very late game,
yeah,
and it's gonna
uh,
be very like hard to make.
yeah. You have to do metal works to have all the little iron
Yeah.
bits made, but
I w-
I think
yeah,
it's going to be more powerful than the bow.
yeah.
Definitely.
I want them to make like a longbow or something, or like make a system so we can make like 1, 2, 3 star bows that we can do with swords, because bow at this point they are breaking so fast.
Yeah.
You can't like. I was going out on the skirmish on the other side of the map. I had one bow and it didn't even last the first quarter. So
What
it's
about
pretty.
ammunition?
Yeah.
Like,
No, the ammunition is not the problem. It's the bow durability.
yeah, but do you think they're gonna implement different ammunition to the bow, like armor
Flame.
piercing or shield piercing?
Flame. Flame arrows maybe.
That could be a thing. Yeah, but like it would be good against buildings and not so good against people because people are
I
not
don't
flammable.
know about the technology, but I don't know if it was like like uh, the thing you have on the ground and it takes fire. The tar.
You mean like a trap?
Yeah, have any of you played Stronghold?
Stronghold. Yes, I
Yeah,
played it.
you can place like oil like tie-ups on the ground, and then the archers can light them, and then like the units get taken fire and dies. It's pretty
I
OP.
mean, yeah, that was actually one of the reasons why I played it a lot, because I just wanted to mess around with the physics. Well, it's not really physics, but
Yeah.
sort of like that.
Yeah. The building stuff, base building or castle building.
Yeah.
Yeah, who joined?
Eagle, I think he's setting up his mic.
Eagle sword, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Hello there.
Welcome to the stream. The stream is running now, so we got 2 minutes until it starts, so we can just keep talking about arrows. You know, like I've seen in a lot of these movies that
Hello.
hey,
Hello.
hey guys. I've seen in a lot of these movies that there's like a lot of people have like fiber on their arrows, and then they put them in the fire and then they fire it. Is that good? Is that bad?
I don't
Like,
think it's gonna work.
I don't think they only take fire. It's like
I've seen in a lot of these movies.
liquid
Signal,
too.
signal arrows or glass tip arrows with liquid in it.
Yeah. And do you guys think it's gonna be like different, like weapons and stuff, from like ancients to remnants to
I hope
It,
not.
it
all
could
the
be.
guys?
I hope not, because that will be kind of annoying. It's like what you get.
Mm,
You
I'm
get a
sure
nice
we're going to see some sort of variation of technology. For example, at least at the very bare minimum, like skins, for example. But if they make the base weapon different damage per faction, it's going to get crazy very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe variations of weapons, like maybe
Skins.
siege weapons. Yeah, maybe like skins. Yeah, for each weapon would be nice.
Yeah.
yeah, it might become rock paper scissors type of deal.
Well, look at, for a closest example, just look at PlanetSide 2. Like, the Vanu have their no drop accuracy, the Terran Republic has their faster shooting weapons, and the New Conglomerate has their fucking just overpowered weapons in general. So imagine bringing that to medieval Europe, though. So, for example, the ancients hit harder because kinetically we're stronger. The remnants, I don't know, have stronger shields and their stamina goes down slower. And the pagans get like bonuses to axe damage or something. Like that just get crazy unbalanced very quickly.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for joining the stream. Just before we start, though, I just want to announce something or point out something, which I did in the last stream. So, having watched the second episode of the podcast, I found myself out of line, speaking badly about the OG clan and Anvil empires, and I just want to clarify that any player or clan that swaps sides as they please is completely fine, and I'm really sorry for being a dick about that. Specifically, also the OG clan is a really wonderful clan that contributes greatly to the community and the gameplay each test, and I'm really sorry for lashing out. That was not called for.
Apology accepted,
That's
man.
all
Thank
good.
you.
It's all good. No problem.
All right, let's do the introductions. So let's start at the top. Steelhand, what got you into Anvil Empires?
I think you asked this the last time.
I know,
but-
but people don't
but-
necessarily
but-
watch every
but
episode.
Sure, okay. Well, we're gonna just reiterate or say the thing again. I think it was because of it looked like games I played before, like Age of Empires or Settlers. And instead of just being the guy in the sky controlling all the serfs, you are the serf and make your own little decisions. And it kind of looked like a bit like RuneScape, new RuneScape, at the same time. Yeah, I think I also kind of got into it from a YouTuber. Was playing Foxhole and just transit, if I can say it right. Kind of like, well, there's this new game the developers of Foxholes are making, but it's not out yet. But they're beta testing it. Maybe you guys, if you're willing, drop in and try to play this. And that was captivating because, oh, you can have horses and make little towns out of nowhere and have this little medieval town and you can make it grow.
Yeah.
So that was a cool concept.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. All right, and Ink, why did you want to play Anvil Empires?
I mean, it's just a fun game, it looked like. I always like trying to be able to have some sort of input into the development of a game. And when I look at like Foxhole, for example, now, I feel like an individual player kind of gets, it's kind of shafted now almost in Foxhole. So I'm kind of hoping that with some input from people who like to play a little bit in smaller groups, that hopefully development doesn't forget the individual player. Which I know sounds ridiculous, but honestly, if you take enough time in Foxhole now, if you try to play by yourself, you're kind of screwed, in my opinion. Hopefully, we can not have that happen again here.
I think, yeah, that's a big debate. I'm not even
I
going to
know.
touch that.
Oh, I know it's a huge debate, but I don't know, personal opinion on that.
Oh, it's a good opinion. Cappy, what made you want to play Anvil Empires?
Exactly the same as Ink, honestly. Just felt like trying out the medieval side of what Foxhole is, and then also seeing how it's like not getting shafted when you need to be in a clan or some sort of big group to even have some sort of remote fun. Because if you don't, then you're basically just gonna be sitting on the front line, picking up whatever scraps you can find off anything or anywhere, and then just have that little bit of fun whilst everyone else is having, the enjoyment to use better weapons, better vehicles, and other stuff. So hope this game also doesn't do the same thing.
Yeah. And next, what brought you to Anvil Empires?
It was basically the first trailer of the game. I just signed up and didn't think about it, and then I got access. And yeah, I just like the fact that you can be the villager, like in strategy games, you can be the villager that chops wood, that mines iron, that crafts weapons. Be the pawn. and get that huge payout in the end with a big battle, and just feel like you did something.
Yeah, that's true. And Eagle Sword, what about you? What made you want to play Anvil Empires?
Well, I've always loved the medieval genre in general, but ultimately, I love leading communities, and I love bringing as many people as I can to bear down on other people. So I decided, like, you know what? Let's take CL and a whole bunch of our Warden friends and Colonial friends over to Anvil and go kick some ass together.
Yeah, that's fun. All right. Well, it's really nice of you guys to join. Thank you so much. The first topic we usually go through is just the good, the bad, and the ugly. Since this was a short test, I'm going to assume it's not going to take that long. And just if you have an opinion, feel free to pitch in. If you don't really have an opinion, you don't have to comment. It's okay to be quiet if you want to. All right. So, does anyone want to go first? What was the good stuff about the last test?
I thought you were gonna stream like last time, like PowerPoint presentation.
Did I stream a PowerPoint
Oh,
presentation?
I don't remember. I thought you did, like on your video. You did.
No. I streamed my Discord maybe, but you can.
That's a post-credit scene.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, sorry.
Homesteads worked.
Yeah, the mega city was by far the most amazing thing.
Yeah, very
Homesteads definitely worked this time around.
very effective. It was it helped kind of grouping up some big groups together. Like if you have, let's say, even like, well, even except the clans that we had grouped up, if you had, let's say, 3-4 groups of other smaller clans or just little groups of people that you know bundled up in one town, it helps quite a lot just to even, you know, group them up and put all the people up to work. It went well. Like everyone done like everything around the town. Everyone at least tried. At least I'm assuming tried at least of something. You know, done a little bit of smithing, done a little bit of cooking,
We even had a
farming,
few
whatnot.
small group of players that were living in the community that weren't part of any big clan aspect
Yeah,
of it. That they had their own homestead, but because of the way that homesteads were working with the alliance system stuff now, it worked, I guess.
a little bit. Yeah, except I think the amount you can ally with each other, that was the only difficult problem, I believe. So we had, because we only were allied with 2 homesteads, and that was about it really. So yeah.
All right, and nothing else.
Well, that's our 2 cents from our side. I don't know about the other
we
lot.
could we could talk about those labor supply burns.
Oh yeah, that's put down the other side. That's the bad stuff in it, or the
So
ugly.
really bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna put. We can put it on both because I think there's not that many players that play on the weekdays, and the silver boost really helps when you don't have a lot of people gathering materials. So I'm gonna put down labor. Was it labor supplies bug?
Yep. Yeah, is labor supplies drainage is more like the way to call it in a sense, because of the amount. So we built quite a lot. We had a lot built. We even went to the point where we started building fancy buildings just for fun, you know. Like
Yeah, but
not including the defenses. Before the defenses even, the buildings weren't there and it was already still draining. So we basically had to already supply quite heavily, but then afterwards, what was it when we started building extra buildings, it got even worse and worse. So
I think
yeah.
at its peak, I think we were using 1,000 labor supplies every 30 minutes.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was.
It might have been less than that even.
Yeah, I mean, we caught it at that point, and it was already bad.
But that's the bad. I'm talking about the silver bug. So you can sell one cabbage is worth 500 silver. Or
500? What? No, you
Oh
can't.
boy.
wait, because you turn it into labor supplies, and then you sell it at the trader, or whatever it's called, the shop,
Yeah.
and that's like 30. Isn't it like one barrel? Is like 30 silver? No, 30 labor supplies, or is it 300?
Oh, as
Oh, it's
in how
250.
much?
It's 250 for one. Yeah, it's and then
250. Yeah.
yeah, and that's worth 2 silver each per labor, so it's 500 silver.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's a bit of a. I don't know. I feel like that's a thing that maybe they need to just take out, where you cannot sell certain items, like labor supplies should be not allowed to be sold. I feel like just that maybe.
Yeah, no,
'Cause,
it was just a useful bug because of the lack of players, is what I meant.
hmm,
Because there was a lot of people who don't usually get to build stuff last test that really got to do a lot of stuff they don't usually do because it was a bit more calm, and some of the builds there were pretty nice. I don't know if you guys got to visit every single castle in town, but it was pretty sweet. Anyway, yeah, let's go to the bad because you guys wanted to just rail into the what was it called again? The labor. Was it the
Yeah,
labor supplies. Yeah.
labor supply burnage. I think we were oh, we kind of built that town like crazy on all sides, and I mean, statistically speaking, to have somebody run to the town hall and stash 1,000 labor supplies into the town hall continuously every 30 minutes before the town would just start collapsing on itself was nearly impossible. At least in my opinion, it was.
well? Isn't there? And also, the good thing about the test before then is when you had the supply, whatever it was called, shop or something.
Yeah, supply huts.
Yeah, you could actually build quite a few of them, and you didn't have to worry about that for the entire test pretty much because you could just stock up on
Right.
whatever was the in or is it called income? I don't know. So yeah, that was a bit annoying, but I mean, when it comes to if you do the math, we did the math. It's not actually. I don't think you have to do that stuff on the second day or the third day or something. You can probably stop supplying the supply hut or well the town hall in that sense, because the timer is like 36 hours or something.
True, true. I think we're all just super picky for how many times we destroyed and rebuilt the town.
Yeah, it was a bit too much destruction. We were trying to see if we can lower it, and it realized it didn't do a single thing really as much. And yeah, at that point we were just like, all right, screw it, let's just carry on then and supply the crap out of it. But at the same time, it was just also limited on how much you had because the original supply hut had 3,000 space
Yeah.
once you upgraded it to tier 3.
Yep.
And from that point, basically, you were able to also build a second one, so you can have 6,000. But
Yeah.
here, it's all in the town hall,
And it's 1,000
and it's only 1,000.
Yeah.
Especially when it's upgraded to tier 3, it still stays on 1,000. So you're just limited to how much supplies you can put in and how quick it drains. So like I've definitely changed the drainage amount because that drainage time is a bit crazy fast. Like it's literally ticking down like a time bomb. It was ticking down. Like I was looking at it, and it was dropping down almost every I don't know, maybe what 10 odd labor supplies per I don't know couple seconds or something like that.
per tick.
Yeah, per tick or something. I don't know.
It's-
Basically,
I mean, it's irregular because it's per each building for when the building was built, but which doesn't help the situation when you're trying
No.
to estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making it very difficult because sometimes you'd look at it and it would go down by 10, and then other times it would go down by, just 1 per second.
yeah, or 3 or something. Yeah, it was like a random number, but it was
Super
just
irregular.
Yeah. But I hope that there's like some sort of overview so you can see what's using the most or where you can save. But I mean, like, I think there's a different game which I feel is so annoying, where you build up the production building you need, and then you produce the stuff you need, and then you destroy the production building. And I'm like, is that really what we want? Is that kind of, is that like a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Like, so personally, like, if it was somehow different, because there's like the easy workaround too is like every time you have to upgrade something or you have to repair something, you don't need repair supplies, you just destroy it and rebuild it. The only time you really need repair supplies is during sieges, because then the enemy's stopping you from doing that, obviously, because they're nearby. So I don't know. It's probably going to be better though. I'm sure they're tinkering with it or gonna fix that. It's probably an easy fix to just increase it from 1,000 to 3,000, don't you think?
Well, I don't think the increase is going to help much because, like we said, the amount we built. So even if, let's say, we weren't a clan of, I mean, weren't a town, sorry, of 3, 4 clans or something like that that was there. If we weren't that, and you were just, I don't know, a regular town, and you just wanted to build up, you had your whole group of, I don't know, let's say 10, 20 people in your town, plus maybe randoms as well that might have joined, and they're building also. If you have everyone building, you've got the defenses, you've got it all secure, everyone's now building their own stuff within the town hall perimeter, that is going to go up constantly. So like the decay rate is still going to go up on that same speed because it's trying to tick every single item, be like, okay, that's there, that's there, that's there, you know, supply that, supply that, supply that, and next item, right? So it's going to keep doing that, but at the same time, it's draining so fast that even if it had 3,000 inside of it, it will just extend the timer from, let's say we have 30 minutes of it to just what, maybe now 2 hours or something like that,
Yeah.
which isn't really a lot of time. So definitely change the rate of each item lowered, because that would be much easier. Just like put
Or
it to like,
you can base it on something different, like a number of players online would be a good way to measure it, in my opinion.
mm, I don't know, that's kind of also bad. The best way is how they have it, like maintenance supplies right now in Foxhole. It's not too bad, but at the same time, also Foxhole 1 is not a really good example because it does drain there as well when you build quite a bit. So I feel like they just need to lower it to the point where it's not too difficult and have more storage also within that town hall
Right.
at the same time.
By the way, Dark Spartan, welcome to the podcast. Do you want to tell us what got you into Anvil Empires?
Uh, really just playing Foxhole and seeing the devs make it, and I've always been a follower and a like of the medieval times and back in Sword and Board and fighting with swords and stuff.
Oh, you fought with swords in real life?
No, I've always been like interested in it. Always read out through history and everything like that, and watching a lot of history shows and everything like that about that stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I think we've sort of exhausted the labor supplies burn topic. I don't know if you guys agree. But is there anything else that was bad about the last test?
I have one, but I don't know if this is for all of you. But personally, I hate that you can buy access from the trade center. I feel like the progression just like stumps. Like it's you don't have anything to work against like that early. Like I feel like access is something. Iron access is really something you need to have to work to like get your first Iron axe. It's just special. It's just that you get them that much more faster, and yeah, I don't know.
The only other bad thing I'd mention with the last test was how frequently the game crashed.
Did it crash a lot for you last test?
Yeah, well, crashed twice during the siege, so that was unfortunate.
There was a siege? Oh, that one. The server crash. Yeah, I'll write that down. That was unfortunate. Do you think the devs did it on purpose?
Very unlikely.
Hashtag conspiracy theory.
No, so at least what I believe happened there is, with it being a minor test, they have not put the same resources towards the servers as they would for, let's say, a normal, like for the one of major tests. So by overwhelming the server with how much we had going on, I presume that was more than enough to brick the server back to the Stone Age.
Damn. Very careful choice of words there. But yeah, I mean I mean, maybe I should have put that in the good, but the Eagle Sword, you and Nielser and the people there who were still there after the server came back online, you guys did some really nice stuff, and I really that was really nice to see. So
Yeah, well, I
kudos.
figured with at least how it's been lately, with the ancients always on the aggression and the remnants always on the receiving end, they haven't had any opportunity to really mess around with any of the RAM stuff or siege equipment in general. So I figured it'd be a nice treat to show them how to do it, and also it benefited me because I was able to create a short tutorial on how to RAM.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, thank you. That was very nice of you to do. So it's nice to see behavior like that in a game that's very competitive. Anyway, yeah, that server crash. I mean, I was having fun too, although I was just looking at it through the stream. I think I was in the same server instance, so when you guys went down, I also went down.
Yeah, so it was, I believe, Manu Mortis, MT, and then I forget the other clan. There was like 3 clans in that little area, and when that server went down, it took Tower. Tower was the other one, and it took out everybody at once.
Oh, they're not named that anymore. They're named Crossed. No, was it Exalt? No. Hold on, I'll check because I don't want to piss them off. Give me a second. They are called the Exalted Winged Hussars of Caligo, XWH. They renamed.
And that's oh, nice. Yeah, we were gonna smoke the ever living dog fuck out of them last test, but we decided that Manu Mortis was gonna be a much bigger fight since they've got other buddies nearby.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds fun. Are you guys gonna do the same next step? Wait, maybe you shouldn't tell us. You know what?
I mean, if I get the opportunity and manpower, you'll always see me do a crusade.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump down to the ugly now. So, any ugly stuff that happened during the test?
I have a couple instances. They're more or less minor in the grand scheme of things, but they're a persistent issue that we're going to see more of in the future and just in general. So the biggest one for me was definitely some of the random players not understanding how settlements worked and not working with the collective. For example, me and the rest of War spent 9 hours of day 1 doing nothing but production, and then all of a sudden 600 planks disappeared for some dude's crafting project, which later had to be scrapped to get rid of garrison supplies. And then he took to the general Discord to complain that we, quote unquote, destroyed his stuff and stole his hard work, when I know for a fact all the planks he used were mine because I was the one crafting them all and putting them in like the storage bins. And the second one was just general toxicity. I noticed a lot of the smaller remnant clans, at least when I was going on my little escapade on the first night there, first day of the test. I noticed a lot of toxicity. A couple slurs were thrown my way just for going on a general walk at night, but otherwise, yeah, it was kind of disconcerting. If that's the way the game's going to go, then I'm going to be a little concerned.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a core group of people that are probably gonna have a dialogue and actually work out issues, and then there's gonna be a larger group of people who just don't care and who are gonna be quote unquote rude, toxic, like you just mentioned. So
I think that's just natural gamers sometimes. I know, like, it happens at times. Like, of course, when you're on the opposing team and someone's pouring out some slurs, like the regular slurs, like I understand it happens from time to time, like, saying, "Oh, you're shit," come here, you, I don't know, something, whatever, stuff like that. That's the regular stuff.
it's role play, man.
It's role play. Understand? It's gaming role play. We've had it for years. Like, come on, everyone's been on like some sort of Call of Duty lobby at least once in their life and heard
or
worse
Rust.
stuff before.
There's an
Or
inherent
Rust.
Rust element.
Or Rust.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, of course, the worst ones are, of course, when they go a bit too far beyond the line of the slurs and just start going like really just deep for some reason. But I guess that's their own issue, their own problem, not my issue.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm playing, I mean, it depends on the slur, but if I'm playing a game and the enemy's insulting me with, let's call it menial slurs, like, saying "fuck
Hey,
you"
good
or
scrub.
"go to hell."
Yeah, you brush your teeth with bathwater, don't you?
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't really mind that. I think for me that's actually kind of fun, but that's maybe you guys disagree. But if
So not to interrupt you here, but in my opinion, there's a massive difference between banter and then being just a POS. For example, I was told that I was being a effing little F-bomb, the one that the LGBTQ community would not approve of, for ever so gently massacring some dude's horse that he decided to rush out with and try to take on 6 random Astrian guys having a walk. And he did not take kindly to that. So we were quite happy to remove him of his horse.
Didn't you remove him of his head?
That too. He didn't get very far. He got like 4 steps, and I think someone put a bow and arrow into his back. I'm like, yeah, get fucked.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
Get good scrub, right?
nice job. Yeah, you got him. So
Yeah, well, it's like I laughed because I'm like, who the hell even calls people that anymore? Like, this isn't like 1999 right now, man. Like, grow up.
That word. Oh my! It took me a while for to realize. I thought
Oh boy.
I thought you said, because I was like, oh, he just called you a fuck, and I'm like, that's fine, right? I see now. Yeah, that's kind of out of line. I think there's a few words
It was
that
pretty
are.
out of pocket.
Yeah, there's a few words that aren't kosher or whatever you want to call it. That just
Cash money.
yeah.
I feel like that's not too bad either.
Yeah, but you're
Oh my
British. You're
God.
British.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to that, honestly. Yeah, I guess so.
Because for you guys, it's just a pack of cigarettes or something, isn't it?
Yeah, like we usually go with the C word, you know, just to greetings to our friends. Like, what's up, you? See
Yeah.
you next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a vibe though. Fucking, it's the same thing over here. Sometimes in Canada, like you can call people that, but like online, like you got to be careful with some words, man. You can't just be going like, "Hey, don't kill my horse, you effing F-bomb!" Like, eh.
I mean, wasn't there a hacker in the big test?
Yeah,
Like
there was.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
there
say
was.
I'm not gonna say that the developers are doing a great job and so are the moderators, but I don't think that they're gonna go around policing that. It's up to us to do that. I think
But
internally.
the thing is, with that situation, they should have policed it. I think just that one little bit should have just because like it was posted instantly as soon as
No,
it
no,
was
I
spotted
agree
on
with
both
you.
sides as well. Like
I'm
on
just
both
using it
sides.
as an example that I don't think they're gonna police toxicity or
Oh yeah, yeah.
these
That's
incidents.
yeah.
If we actually want to take control of that, if we actually think it's detrimental, then we have to sort of cooperate between the factions and call people out, either in private, which probably would be preferred because people want to have a second chance,
Mm,
or you could do it, have a public shaming list or something like that. I don't know if that's going to be any good, to be honest, either. So,
nah.
but just
But
having consequences of just spouting stuff.
yeah, like that guy that complained about what Eagle said as well earlier on about us destroying his 16 hours of work apparently, and all his friends left. I think we all laughed at that comment when we read that. It's like you didn't do that 16 hours because I was there the whole day, and I saw it from built from bottom to top, and it took him probably I don't know, maybe an hour max, I would say, because all the wood was being pumped out. Well, he did do a little bit of wood cutting, but rest of the town was also wood cutting at the most at the same time, basically. So, in a sense, he didn't do all of the work, and it
Like,
sounded
yeah.
like he literally done everything. Like he spent the whole day wood cutting for himself. He built that whole thing all perfectly, like 16 hours. I'm like, no, you didn't spend 16 hours because you haven't been here 16 hours. I probably was there 16 hours because I woke up and I spent the whole day on Anvil literally doing that. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure like day one, I had like 23 members of Astria just all cutting wood at the same time. It was just pure slave labor from top to bottom. It was
everyone.
fantastic.
It was good.
Oh man,
What if the devs want that to be part of the gameplay, though?
slave
what?
labor
No,
sold.
no, sorry. So I'm sort of talking about what was it Cappy?
Yep.
Yeah, that you have to be careful with your materials. You like if you overproduce there and you're in a big town, people might just go up and take it. Like so you have to have some sort of way to stop people from doing that, basically.
Well, that's the thing. We kind of like hint to the person saying, what is it you're building? We kind of like that's the thing. We were asking like, what's being built here? It's like, all right, fine, it's a guardhouse. But then like this guy, I think, made a guardhouse and then another guardhouse right next to each other, which was just like one massive box and then another massive box that was a bit smaller. But like it was kind of like, what the hell? This is huge. This ain't a guardhouse. This is a bloody like 2-story building for someone's little, I don't know, fun games, I guess. But at the same time, it was just because also labor supplies during that time was insane crazy, and we already had 2 massive structures that were being built, like already started. So like one was the church, which was I think almost already finished, and then we had the state, well, the Colosseum, that went from the arena, I guess, small little arena, to then the Colosseum that was being built. And yeah, so we were like, Jesus, okay, we need to start deleting everything around. So we started deleting like not even just his building was being deleted, because like he thought we only just struck out on him, and he was like as well. I remember him moaning before, saying like, "Hey, stop micromanaging," because like basically we had each clan person roughly had Thane or Lord kind of um a title, so just so we can have like, of course, each team help each other out if they need to delete something or build something there, or whatever it is. But yeah, literally, we like you need to micromanage it at the same time though, because that's the whole point. If you want your town to work effectively, make sure it's like clean and not clustered, and to have everyone enjoying themselves, you kind of do have to micromanage, because it was
Yeah.
a lot of it at the start where
You
everyone was like, do this, do that. All right, we got this. Now, once we gathered it all up, we then like, how do you say it? We built basically. I remember. Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly say this one bit. We built a sawmill at the start, a small one for the inside of the town. We done that at the start because it was gonna be temporary, and then we said to this guy that was actually the same guy that was complaining that, oh yeah, this is temporary, don't bother adding in like water, how do you say it, the water mill kind of, because we were using donkeys and not water to power it. So he was trying to add that, and it's like, yeah, we don't need that because we're going to delete this, and because we've got a bigger one that we're making over there, and yeah, basically, so it's just a lot of micromanaging. You just got to deal with it, and that's, yeah,
I
that's
don't
how it is.
have I don't have a lot of experience in Foxhole like you do, but I assume that this entire like approach to it makes the game different because you have to be more, neighborhood disputes, like being a mayor, solving people's issues in game. Like he took my axe, he took my hoe. But
Luckily, there's not as much politics here as there is in Foxhole. Thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's really not
Homestead's
much
gonna
that.
help with that
Yeah,
too.
no, I
it's
meant just simply from the way that this game is different because this game is like 90% logi because everyone's building their thing. And so you have
mm,
to sort of, if everyone builds their own thing, that's not going to work. There's got to be a system, right? And you've guys, I think you've spent some time designing that town from the looks of the design documents I was able to get a hold of. You
yeah, we
guys had a
did have a
plan.
design. Yeah, it was already built, I think. Well, I mean, designed well before, like a couple days prior before the test. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit, in that way, it's quite distinctively different than Foxhole and what you do with your time in the game, is what I meant to
Well, you
say.
can do that as well with facilities, though. With Foxhole facilities and even bunkers. I've seen people build designs of bunkers and facilities in certain areas
Sure.
before the war starts, and then be like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what will look. Post it
Yeah,
into like.
that's what I meant. You have more experience in Foxhole than I do, so you probably know. But I'm assuming that these facilities didn't house 90 people.
Yeah, normally it's like 6 guys who are absolutely no lifing, and the rest of the community worships those 6 guys like some sort of weird Jesus-like
He is the
deity.
Messiah.
And if you think I'm exaggerating, go to any community and be like, "Can I pirate your logistics officer?" And they will come after you for the rest of your life.
All right, I'm just gonna write down town politics because it's not politics in the way that clans have politics. It's just individuals arguing about stuff in the
It's,
game.
it's I would just classify as town micromanaging. It's not even politics. There's nothing
Town
political here.
management, really.
Yeah, town management. It's just because I understand you're gonna get randoms. Every town is gonna have randoms. I don't know what it was like on the Remnant side. Like I think IG. I'm assuming had not that many players from IG, but I heard there was still quite a few randoms here and there. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Steel might know. Steel, if you know. how it was like over there?
What do you mean?
So like, was it a lot micromanaging you also had to do, or did you just guys kind of have a chill day most of
we
the
have a
time?
chill day. Everyone's on the same note, and if we have a, you know, anything if we have a wish about what we want to build in the town, we vote on it. They vote on it. Everyone
I know,
votes.
but I meant people that aren't in your clan. So anyone that wasn't within your clan, like randoms that were not a part of the
Yeah,
main.
they were
group.
asked to join our call and our Discord if they wanted to be part of the town,
Uh,
or if they came like, "Hey, do you want to buy this?" We would say, "Yeah, sure. Let's see if we can do something about that." And it was more like not the test before, but the test before that. We had people coming in and say, "Hey, do you want to buy this?" Or we kind of struck out and found other settlements and asked them, "Hey, do you want to buy this?" And they said, "Sure. Can we trade you for this?"
Okay. Well, I don't think we have that same problem as much in the remnants. There are people who show up randomly at various towns, and usually what they do is because we didn't do the megacity, so that probably hosts or it creates a bunch of other issues that we don't have in the remnants, where we could just tell them to, hey, join the Discord call, or you know, you're joining our town. This is our clan's town. But if you have a town which is shared between multiple clans, and then a random comes in, who does he sort of respond? Who's his superior? Who's the
Whoever
guy in charge?
drafts them first,
yeah, exactly. Just
get
so
into the
true.
van.
It
Yeah.
really is. It's whoever he decides to choose out of the groups. Because
So,
like that's how we've recruited as well.
but
I'm
Cappy,
assuming
the
all
guy
of
that
them.
you were complaining about, who did he join?
He didn't join anyone.
Right. That's
So
what I
that was
mean.
the only
That's
thing
what
with
I
him.
mean.
He was the only
Um,
guy that probably had a problem in the town. We had so many randoms. There were so many. We only had one problem, and that was him. I feel like the only guy that caused the issues was him, because like we were trying to basically move stuff around because I don't know, it was either too clustered, or we had to delete it because there was just too much labor supplies going away. We had to then maybe redesign because we wanted to put a perimeter wall as well around the town hall itself,
Sure.
and everything around that town hall area got removed. Anything that was close by got deleted, got put into a different location. People probably built some stuff there and were like, oh, okay, that's okay. That was what I
Yeah.
built, but it's okay. We moved it. Sometimes if not, then we'll just ask them, hey, you can build it over here now if you want to, or something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair
So
enough.
So just to actually touch on that entire thing, I think we're going to need some systemic mechanics from the developers to allow the Thanes and above to be able to properly manage settlements. Whether that comes in some sort of menu or some sort of wireframe where on the menu you can lock people out of the settlement from like joining the settlement, you can kick people permanently from the settlement, etc., etc. Basically, some sort of management menu where they can do a lot of the work.
I feel like that sound. I'm not saying that sounds you're being negative on that part, but it sounds like, yeah, I wouldn't put it as that, because that would be a kind of a bad way to look at it. How like, oh yeah, I don't know you, I don't want you in my town, you're a random player. You know, I think that they want that to happen where you have random people in your town cooperate, be part of the
It's
team,
yeah. It's
and you know,
I agree with you, Cappy. I think for I mean, I'm not saying that's what Eagles is saying though. It could be that he means something different. So there's two ways I'm sort of imagining it. It's like you have if you want to join a town, you have to pay a fee now, right? That's one thing. And also, if the Thane or the Lord could issue fines and say you can't access anything until you pay this fine, would also be, in my opinion, an acceptable way to do it. Because you sort of go back to that. You're not kicked out. We're just gonna fine you because you did something wrong. We think it was wrong. Then there's also the concept of elitism versus including new players. And Eagle, you're not saying that, but I'm just going to put it out there as like a concept, because usually what kills games that needs a strong community is the ability to just completely isolate yourself as a clan or as a group of clans and not let anyone else in, and then do all your recruitment on Discord, for example.
So, if I could just explain what I mean there, just so nobody gets conflicting ideas here. So, I'm not saying that it's something we should use going to be directly used as a tool to limit people who can join our settlement. However, I'm saying that settlements in general need better management tools. Right now, again, we're still in pre-alpha, so we don't have all the tools I presume that they want to give us to allow us to create our settlements. But let's just use like I'll just make it an example here. So you're the thane of your settlement, and you want to put out a message like, "Hey, we need this." So what you can do is you can go into like the town menu at the town hall, and you can put in a shout or whatever saying, "Hey, we need everybody to switch from producing XYZ to produce XYZ." So there's one thing that we have. Another thing would be like, hey, this guy's griefing. We need to kick him out of the area. He's not part of the team. He doesn't want to cooperate. We need some tools. That way, we're not just spawn killing the guy until he rage quits the game and empty server raids us later and dumps all our mats. We need some sort of material way to remove people from the settlement who are bad actors.
I agree with
Obviously,
that. Yeah.
obviously, there will be clans who will abuse this feature to make clan-only settlements, but I believe with every fiber of my heart, with how Anvil is going, that this is going to be more of the exception than the rule.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm just, for me, I want to have like a no tolerance on clans like that. Like clans like that really don't make the game, I don't know, fun for new players. Like there's just if you think about like how Foxhole was before it came out of early access. I think it was like, was it 600 or 300 peak time every day? It was a very small game compared to what it is now, right? And we might be in this same place for a while where there's not going to be a lot of us. And if there's people out there that are, in a way, by using the rules or the laws and rules and tools that you've just described to completely deject people and stop them from playing, they're probably, it's likely that they'll just uninstall the game and not take another look at it, which is unfortunate.
The best way you can look at it, and I hate using this analogy, but it's like Eve corporation like stations. They can blackball you from using their station, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to want the general public to go in and keep that economy alive within their station.
Yeah, if there was a way for, because I think what you want to have is the best of both worlds, and I think, and this is going to sound stupid, but maybe a good idea would be zoning. Let the Lord declare zones. This is a zone for, this is a public zone. This is a homestead zone. I know that we did zones before, sort of, and they were really annoying, but not like, I don't want to say it's going to be exactly like that, but something similar to that, where you can sort of define that this area, anyone can build anything and it's okay. This area is private, right?
I think it would also be interesting to see some sort of town hall research down the road in regards to that as well. That way you can potentially give bonuses to those zones. For example, in an agriculture area, you're able to grow animals faster, small percentage, grow more crops, get more seeds back. That way every settlement has its own different advantages. As opposed to right now where every settlement does everything, but now I have my farming settlement that it's purely stacked towards producing food, or I've got my lumber mill settlement who is hard industry into producing lumber for everybody.
Yeah,
Sure.
I feel like as a zone though wouldn't be a good option because that kind of just looks more like the homestead extension kind of idea, but just adding it as a separated zone for that separated section, because then you're kind of then limited to only build stuff in that area, and then you have to like delete it all again. So I think maybe like, I don't know, something similar to that concept, but not as a zone, but more of a I don't know, like you kind of just have to build your own town and make your own kind of zones in a sense. Like I think that's the creative part of it, where you just decide what's where, what you have in certain areas of the town, and then just keep it as that until you decide to maybe move it in a safer location or a better build. But as Eagle said as well about the So to get rid of people that are being, in a sense, bad, I do agree with that 100% because we did have, I think, one guy that was causing some sort of trouble, wasn't he? Like he built a camp outside our walls, and then built a what's it called? Actually, was it the camp was already built there, but then he built spikes. That's what he did. He built spikes around that camp area.
I lost
And
2 wagons to
yeah,
that.
yeah, he lost. We lost like wagons and horses to that because of that exact reason, and he was kind of like trolling. So just like having a troll there in the town is not quite nice. Um, Especially so like he had his spawn, I think, set. So having that option to kick someone out is quite useful because then it
Yeah.
kind of like blocks them from not. It's like reserving your bunkers basically, so you don't get what's it called? Sabotage.
Thieves, trolls, saboteurs, yeah.
Basically
Just to
sabotage.
touch on that as well before you continue there, Wicca, with Cappy's comment there. I feel like as we continue to go forward in the tests and the general public continues to get more and more access to the game, we're going to run into a lot more weird and bad actors. Like, the general public is generally scary 95% of the time, and there's always people who just want to watch the world burn, especially when they have the safety and anonymity that the internet brings them for the most part.
Yeah, no, I think the developers, I think from what I heard, and please correct me if you know this not to be a fact, but I think I understood the developers wants to have very, very big cities. That's actually something that they want each faction to have. And so I think they would need to have, if you want big cities, you need to have a way for people to just dynamically leave and join willy-nilly. Like there has to be automatic structure or something like that. I don't know exactly how to put it. Anyway, yeah,
At
we've
a minimum.
we've been talking about this for a while now. I think it's time to move on to the next topic, if you guys don't mind. Or is there any last-minute comments?
Well, I wanted to just say, I wish that we had signposts or billboards or some sort of message board so that we could build that and actually,
Yeah.
even if it's just a sign saying market area. Okay, people know it's a market area. Build a market there.
That would be better. Yeah, that's probably a better option.
Do people really use the market though?
Um, so we have kind of been messing around with the market. So since the last test, before the instant money pay you get, we did mess around with the market. We were like seeing, okay, what can we sell in the market? So we're like, okay, we can sell this, we can sell that. And of course, it was limited by the clock timer. So you didn't get the money instantly, but you did have like a couple minutes or so before it got sold to the world, which I felt like wasn't too bad as well at the same time because I guess there was a timer limit and it did get sold to the world if it wasn't used, but I guess it can't be sold or bought by other players in a sense, so another player can't come over there and buy it. So I think the new concept now is kind of nicer a little bit, so it doesn't disappear forever. It still stays there, and the person does get paid, even if they've put maybe a higher price. They get paid the default straight away, which is whatever it is, and then if the price is set a little bit higher, then of course they get the bonus afterwards once someone's actually bought the item from them. So it's kind of nice. But it is a good way to make some easy money, especially if you're, I don't know, selling.
Forage items.
Yeah, forageable items even. But I feel like the main one we did sell was clay bricks because we knew that was a good one. Because I know we didn't like using Callaghan swords as much because durability on those is very weak. So you kind of like have one fight or two fights with them and it's already gone. So we prefer using the tier 3 swords that we make. But yeah, so we end up just selling clay because why not, right? Just make money from the clay bricks. So.
Typical ancient selling clay, selling
Yeah.
dirt. Oh, you
If-
want some dirt? Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Well, if people want to buy it, yeah, sure, why not? But I'm still gonna sell that clay.
It's all
You
good.
make good money out
It
of it.
was
You make really good money
It's
out of it.
just
So
you're just falling into the stereotype. That's all.
yeah.
All right. No, yeah. Good points. Good points. Yeah. But yeah, let's move on. We can probably have a longer discussion about this, but we have other stuff to talk about. So, the test schedule. I'm sure you've all seen it. November 29th, small test, and then December 15, little Christmas gift from the devs. Big test. That's gonna be fun. What if the test lasted from the 29th to the 18th of December?
That would be psycho.
29th of this month, you asking?
Yes.
Jesus.
Absolute psycho.
Yeah.
I have a whole thing on that.
Yeah. that's
So
pretty psycho.
right now, with the accelerated tech, the accelerated growing, and all of the stuff, this is just literally what happened during the minor test. Within 4 hours, we had chainmail, tier 3 swords, and Callaghan swords for days. We maxed out the entire game in 4 hours of nonstop grinding.
I'm not sure about the armor. I know we definitely had tools.
No, so the armor came. Sorry, the armor came an hour 4. Star Rot was mass producing it by the end of it. So yeah, within 4 to 5 hours, we were maxed out in producing this gear, and by the start of day 2, we had, I think it was 120 tier 3 swords, and close to like 60 sets of armor.
Yeah, give or take.
Are you sure that wasn't day? I remember that was later on in the day we had that much. I know we had 120 odd swords later on in the next day.
No, I used a bunch. Like that morning, I took my guys out for a little walk and went and burned down some stuff. So
Yeah, I know, but I think on day 1, I don't think we had that many. I know we had maybe around 40 odd swords already.
no. So the start of day 1, sorry, the start of day 2, we had that many. Day
Oh,
1.
day 2. Sorry,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, I get you mean. Yeah, sorry. My bad.
By
said
the end
day
of
one.
day 1, we had enough to arm like me
Sound
and
muted.
like I think it was 9, 10 of my guys to go for a walk. But by day 2, we had more than enough to arm all of my testers with 1 set of armor.
Twice,
And
3 times.
yeah, like
3 times
it's
over,
insane. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get at here in regards to a like 2-week, 3-week long test is they're going to have to remove that very large accelerated growth for the community. Otherwise, nobody's going to play their game. On top of which, we're going to find bugs for days. We're going to find XYZ. And it's going to be too much for a minor test. I think, at least in my opinion, that running from December 15th to the 30th would be much more expendable because obviously they're going to let in hundreds of more players. I assume, because it's a major PvP test, specifically quotes, that we're going to see more combat features, which means persistence testing over a long period of time can at least show them more of like, hey, we want to see this, we want to see that, go fight here, everybody do this. It's going to be much easier to bring in like hundreds of people for a major PvP test, and it's going to be to keep even like the 60 to 100 guys they get for the minor tests.
I think you're on the money though, because there's just not enough content for anyone to play for 30 days or 15 days or anything.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
You'd get bored because like we're limited. So right now, there's lots of stuff you can do in town. There's lots of stuff you can do, with all the building, the foraging, farming. Basically, it's all like town simulator. What they're lacking on right now is really the combat part, because you don't really have much to do with like sieging as well. So the siege weapons you have right now is ladders, rams, and I guess you could count the flasks and the torches as the kind of mini raid / big raid, depending on how many you use at one time.
So
But
pretty much all I'd
it's
use
really
that test
limited.
for, at least for me personally, a test that's going to go that long, all I'm going to do is turn out like every single tutorial I'll ever need for the next like 6 months for my community. Like that's all that long period of testing can do, instead of me having to crash course my testing.
Yeah, and there's like no ultimate goals right now for a long period test like that. Like
Exactly.
there's
Like,
no there's no supremacy that you get. There's no town objectives. There's nothing like that. So
Yeah,
it's
the
literally
spawn
gonna
system
be,
too.
it's going to be crusade after crusade of people just fighting back and forth, and what's going to happen? Just towns upon towns are getting destroyed, and there's going to be no gain for anything of that besides just fun of hacking and slashing. That's about it.
Yeah, so basically all I'd do is I'd invite all of the Remnant clans over, I'd get all of my testers online at once, and I'd just do a field battle Friday. Like, that's all I'd end up doing at the end of the week.
We probably do that a
I
few
would
times.
suggest probably a push the test even to the weekend, because like I know 15th isn't that like middle of the week? Is it not?
Yeah, that's a Wednesday.
Yeah,
And I believe it
kinda weird.
runs to Friday.
Yeah.
By the way, Tazara,
Is it?
welcome.
Oh no, it's Friday.
Yeah, I apologize for being late.
Welcome to the
But I'm here now.
podcast. Do you want to tell us why you're playing Anvil Empires?
It's mainly about the cooperation between hundreds of people that I enjoy about it. And that one person can provide a lot to the... Basically, one person can provide a lot for the community, so all the other people can go, for example, go raiding, while one person does all the cooking, while all the others do raiding or defend the castle. Everyone has an important job in this game.
Yep.
That's what I like about it.
That's a good answer. All right, sorry to break this apart, guys, but we're moving on to the next topic, which is early game rating. So, has anyone here been the victim of early game rating?
Not yet. No.
We actually have been, but it was dealt with. Yeah, it was well, like I think it was mid-August, or sorry, no, one of the tests before August, we got smoked by some. I think it was either EL or IG or some other Remnant clan just came for a walk and ever so gently dick punched us.
Maybe that might have been us.
We had
we did switch over a couple times. So.
That might have been you guys then. You guys came at us with flint, daggers, and hatred.
Yeah.
Possible.
It was very random.
War
so
crime.
we decided to we basically said to ourselves, like, all right, we need to do maybe a quick early raid just to like maybe cause some chaos in the areas. So like, what's the quickest, easiest weapons we can get? So like thinking, what's easy? Okay, flint daggers then. Flint daggers it is then. So I think what was it? We got a group of people to grab some flint daggers and some torches. I think also, and just went out on like a little quick chaos raid.
I had 6 testers online when that happened.
Yeah.
We wanted to try it out.
Good news, it's effective and it's annoying as shit.
Yeah. It was.
How early are we talking? Like minutes or 1 hour or what?
Oh yeah, like first almost hour I'd say of the game, basically, because like flint daggers is really easy. All you need is like the basic workbench and then like the flint fiber twigs, and that's it. You got the
flint
daggers.
fiber twigs. It was, I think.
And torches as well are pretty easy, I guess, because all you need is the tier 1 blacksmith, which you can get, I think, from once you get tier 2 town hall. So you pump out just a couple barrels of torches with twigs and fiber. Bang, there you go. You got fiber. I mean, you got torches and knives, and that's it. So you're just out there now running, killing whatever you can find quickly, just for some like quick, easy, I don't know, loot dive.
It's
basically.
honestly, so just to touch on that in general, is just as a whole concept here. So early rating to me is like, again, you're coming at me with like barbarian tactics with nothing but flint daggers, and you're out there to swiggity swoogity. But it's very interesting to me to see that dynamic, especially this early in the testing. Because I don't think that's something the devs expected to really get tested yet, is just what it looks like and how it's going to happen. So at least from a PvP standpoint, I see a lot of value in getting my ass kicked day 1, hour 2.
Yep. It's like HP rushes on the front line of Foxhole, isn't it? You get torches and daggers.
Yeah. By the way, before I make my comment, Calculated, you just joined the channel. Calculated?
Well, I'm here, just listening.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you can listen here or on the podcast, whatever. Okay, so I was gonna say I don't think it's gonna be, because we're talking about early raiding, so it'll happen once every month, once the game comes out, if not later, because if the wars last longer, we don't know. I think it's only going to be a recurring thing during the tests. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a different knowledge about this, but it's not going to be like a, I don't know, like a strat. I think it's just going to be for fun, probably.
I mean,
I don't think so, because didn't you guys with I think Cool Train and a couple people done a quick raid at the start of the days with some torches? I believe it is also your base, Wicker. I believe so.
That was an offline raid. That's different.
Yeah, I know, but it was still early, wasn't it? It was early.
so that was
that
day
was
one,
6
like
or 8
hour
hours in.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still day one, early hours. If you think about it, in my opinion, that's still day one. You know, as a day one battle. And
Wasn't
you're,
it a battle? No.
well, not
Wasn't-
battle as in a quick raid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
like-
it was an offline raid. There was nobody online.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel like it's still effective because we managed to get quite a few of the resources that were there. So like, if there was no one to defend, why not, right? So that's easy. That's like basically, let's say you're attacking some sort of location, you just see free money. It's like, why not, right? I'm
Well-
gonna grab that and just leave, and then that's it. You know,
No,
I'm
I know.
good.
I get your point. I think, from my point of view, in terms of like the game as a whole, it doesn't really. That's not really the kind of raid I think is going to be a relevant type of raid, because if you have something that's called a small test focused on settlement building, you're not going to behave the same way as if there was a big PvP test or during the game itself. So it's not like
Definitely.
it's going to be a moot point. Any sort of successful raid on a small test, that doesn't really matter. What really does matter though is if you can see there's a really good strategic point that you know the remnants are going to build on, or vice versa, we know that the ancients are going to build there, and we want
EL.
that point early. An early raid would then make sense, because then we have to burn down their gathering pit or level 2 town hall and build it there ourselves. That would be a valid early raid. Has anyone thought about stuff like that?
We thought about that like a couple tests ago with EL and the other remnant clans setting up based on every single test setting up based on the same location. We had played with the thought about doing it once to just kick their ass, but we never done it.
It was more like to kind of yeah, like Wicker said, disrupt the location is more like what we kind of also were thinking of. But at the same time, it is quite difficult to do so because there's certain locations that they have been based at, or if you base it even further out, it's quite hard to reach because then the spawn, of course, when you main spawn, you don't spawn that close to that location. You don't spawn literally like right across, I don't know, let's say a border that's towards remnant territory. So you kind of have to travel quite a distance. Plus, you got to then set up the town hall, get the gear quickly, and do a quick raid, which can work, but is like it's situational. So it's really depending on how close they are, how far you got to travel, and all of that other stuff. Because at that point in time, they might have already defenses up or some sort of at least early game protection and weapons and gear
Yeah, I know
to already guard them.
my clan had pretty much spears almost from the start because there's a lot of wolf dens there. So it does matter. I mean, it depends on how your town hall is located. Usually, if you're not near bear dens or wolf dens, you don't really need spears. But yeah, it does. I think that's also something that you would be doing. An early raid like that would set you back. But I think you could kind of get away with it if you were able to get enough people to sort of pitch in. Because if you get, like, let's say it's 30 people in this town that you're attacking, and you can bring 60 with you because you know that that place is so valuable, would be kind of a legit strategy in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think the early game raiding is I don't know, the disruption of town based locations is good because it does, I guess, make them they have to move because then they can't burn the town hall because they don't have the weaponry.
Mm.
So they have to build somewhere else. But at the same time, then if you do the other early game raiding, which is like just a couple hours later with torches and weapons, then you can gain some good resources out of it nice and easy because then that's less work you have to do, less gathering, all of that other stuff. So like, let's say you see a town that's got, I don't know, 5 people guarding it. They've got stockpiles of resources. It's like, wow, look at that. Let's go raid it. We've got 20 odd guys, 5 people. You know, it's in our favor right here. We could just quickly raid that, take all their resources, and they've basically done all the work for us, right? So we've just yoinked all of that and made our lives a little bit easier. So I feel like it's
Yes,
still
the
effective.
taxman strategy.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
kind of it is a bit tax man kind of strategy where you use the enemy as a slave labor.
Do you think anyone's gonna? Because the thing is that people people get motivated to then avenge because they hear these
yeah,
stories. So
true.
Oh
you,
yeah,
That
you
welcome
put a
aboard.
target on you, basically.
that would cause more motivation.
Welcome, yeah, we welcome it. We've yet to be attacked properly yet because like one time we did get attacked, but the same issue also happened like what happened with war attacking it crashed server crashes happened and basically they gave up. So it was like, well, that's unfortunate, you know. I guess it sucks because you lose gear, you know, every time the server crashes you lose that whole gear set.
Yeah.
And then you know you kind of
Pretty
have
much
to
kills the test for those both of those clans as well.
yeah, exactly. Because it's sad how I feel like the server crashes should do how Foxhole does it. I don't know why they haven't got that system like yet in place where if the server crashes or disconnects or whatever it is, you still have your character sleeping. You know, your character's in the sleeper mode, and then he wakes up with all the gear on, and then like it's a little timer to wait for everyone to spawn back in, right? So like I don't know why they've yet maybe not done that, but we'll see. I guess maybe
Yeah, why
over
do
time.
they have server crashes?
So
They should just stop
I
that.
can elaborate on that one there, Cappy. At least to my knowledge of how the system works. So first off, brand new engine that they're pretty much more or less roughnecking from the ground up. So they don't have the resources to the server yet. And I presume that with how intensive these fights are getting, with how many resources that we're putting at them, that when we did it, we just straight up bricked it. And with the new system, I presume your player character, when they go to sleep or they get disconnected like that, you're gone from the server. You're basically essentially hard wiped, and that might have something to do with how the test framework works for the system side.
The border crossing crashes when we did the Great Crusades.
This was a big issue on Foxhole for a long time. To give you a rough idea, in 2019, I took close to 15 tanks down from Weathered Expanse, and I lost 5 of them because the driver crashed.
Sorry, 15 or 50?
15.
Okay, I thought 50. Holy shit!
No. Fucking that'd be insane. That's like 50 drivers. That's an entire server.
Yeah, 15. That is already a lot.
Yeah, well, it was back when light tanks were the meta, and then it was like battle tanks were coming up next soon. It was back when you had to use tech parts to start a 24-hour cook for your battle tanks, way back in the day.
Good old days.
Yeah, but anyway, what I'm trying to get at here is I just believe that the server crashes right now that just completely brick the players is mainly due to the limitations in the engine at this time. So I presume we're obviously going to see improvement in the future, but for the time being, we have to bite the bullet on this one.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
what I'm hoping so as well.
We know it's a test. I mean, for me personally, if there is a crash, obviously disappointed. You know, there's emotion. It's natural to have that emotion. Some people are going to lash out. That's also normal, but it is a test, and I think people are sound enough of mind to sort of reflect on that, even if they need like a coping moment.
Well, I presume also the test shows the devs what they need to do in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
One
Okay.
of the best examples was the barrel. At the beginning of the barrel, we didn't know what it caused, and it was barrel in the barrel. That was fucking funny.
I remember
Just
that.
That's
to
why
use
we're
a
testing.
real life analogy here, the devs definitely learn more from their failures than they do from their successes.
And that's why we're here to find the failures.
Exactly.
So I have a picture up on stream now. I don't know if you can see it. Basically, Sean the Scrapper was doing. I don't know if this is early game raid because it looks like they have stables, but it's something similar to the offline raid, or like when you have 20 guys and you just want to steal their stuff. He stole. I think how many planks is that? That's like 102, more than 400. That's for sure. 500 planks maybe.
I would eat his liver.
That's a lot of planks. What does that mean? Eat his liver. Is that good or bad?
I'd kill him. Like, I gotta find out where that guy's fucking settlement is. I'm gonna burn it to the ground.
Who, Sean?
If someone did that to me in general.
Did that not? I believe that got raided. I remember seeing. What was it? Someone was talking about it. Whilst we were in the game, it's like, hey, it's like, anyone seeing this stream? It's like, what stream? This guy's got like 400 planks, 500 planks worth of just in storage or something like that. Actually, that's more. That's tier 2, so that's 150 per thing, right? So that's
600.
300. Yeah, it's like 600 planks there,
Math.
dude.
Quick math.
Yeah, exactly. So, and look, he comes in and look at that. He gets raided because he's got a twig wall. It's like, bro, how have you not used those planks? Like, that's what you are meant to do. Like, the whole point of the planks is not just to hold on to it and keep your defenses on like the most easiest thing to destroy. You build up, or at least upgrade them, to tier 2, which does make it stronger, or even build, just, I don't know, start building some proper, what's it called, the fort walls, right? So it's kind of his own doing and fault, I guess, or his group that he was with there that didn't upgrade anything, and they just left it as a how to say it, just T1
Yeah, Cappy,
defenses.
look, so how do I put it? If you get mugged in real life, it's your own fault. Because you were like looking like an enticing target.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it still doesn't mean that you're allowed to get upset and feel angry. And if you see others experience that, you can feel empathy and be angry on their behalf. That's
Oh yeah,
also
of
okay.
course. Yeah. I do feel empathy, of course. I do feel sad that he didn't use up the defenses. Like I would personally as well, if I got attacked and I realized I had this many planks and I only had this twig wall that was defending me, and I was like thinking, why didn't I build another twig wall to at least cover this planks, or why didn't I upgrade it and maybe add some more defenses to at least assist the defense of my town hall and so on? Because yeah, I would definitely be sad for my own self as well, like if that ever happened to me, because that's just terrible. It's like all that hard work gone.
But that's
right?
useful. I think it's useful information for the developers as well, because it's part of the game. The human factor. It's the weight of the game, right? Just like, I don't know if you guys have played DayZ or the walking simulator, as I like to call it.
Yes.
It really sucks to walk really far and then just die because some dude sniped you or some random stuff. Like, it just feels like all your progress is lost, and that's not a bad gameplay mechanic. That's a really good gameplay mechanic, but it is going to show up, and it's not drama. It's just, I don't know how to put it. How do you even label that? It's just
I think
life.
it's just gameplay features, because like your example you said on DayZ, it's just how it is. The only crappiest way to die or lose all your gear is from server lag, server crashing, or like in DayZ, you get stuck on something and some invisible zombie kills you, and you're like, oh crap, well, that's great, I died to a broken part of the game, right? So like, it's the same thing. It's basically losing your gear to something that's broken is more of the worst way to go down than actually losing it to another skilled player that's maybe actually realized, oh, you're easy target, let's go get you, basically.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean, it's yeah. For me personally as well, I don't think, and I've said this, but you're free to disagree. During the small tests, don't try to literally kill off a settlement or just completely try to annihilate it, or just I don't think it's okay to do stuff like this when it's a small test. I think you should wait until the PvP test and do stuff like this, because then it's like this is a PvP test. We're trying to win. You know, you're trying to fight people. Whereas a small test is different. And honestly, the devs have not been very clear on this. I think they've just had some sort of gameplay mechanics altered. I don't think they mind, to be honest, if people kill each other here and there. And I think also if they try to moderate it, it's just going to open a hornet's nest. But people who get raided should be allowed to express their annoyance with that, and the people who raided, they have to read that. That's just how it is. You're still in the same community as me, Cappy. And the guys that Sean the Scrapper is raiding, he's in the same community.
Yeah, of course.
We're
yeah.
gonna have to see eye to eye afterwards as well.
Well, I'm not saying like it was his fault and his own problem, but I don't know. For minor tests, I don't know. I feel like everyone's done a little bit of raiding on minor tests because you get bored quite easily at the point where you've built your town hall, you've built your stuff, you got gear. Everyone's like, let's raid. At that point, you've hit peak, you've hit tier 3, you've got everything upgraded. You're bored. Now it's literal just grind for the gear, grind for, I don't know, torches and flasks if you need to, and raid. Like recently, so as well, especially now recently, flasks are now much easier to get because of, well, as in because they've actually fixed the boar and deer problems that they've had for the past however many tests now. Because the boars and deers, once you killed, I think was it one of the boar spawns, you never saw boars spawning again. And I think deers were just like very, very rare to the point where you could not find them. Of
No,
course,
they
they've
ran in the river, didn't they? And then they all drowned.
that
Yeah.
too. That was also an issue, but there was just also deers just spawned very very minimal. You saw you go to like a deer spawn and you see maybe one, and I was like, okay, that was it. You know, you found one deer. But of course, they've definitely increased it now to a certain level where it's quite a lot, which isn't too bad. But at the same time, of course, they do get stuck on certain places, so maybe fix the terrain on that issue. But yeah, like now we have a chance to use flasks properly, like as a whole group, as a whole. So I think because of that fix they've done, we now have the opportunity to test it out more and more. How good are flasks? Like nuke raiding, basically, is what we call it in our group, where we just nuke everything with a flask. And
Have you
blow it up.
have you ever considered the concept that if you keep killing off remnant towns, that there not going to be that many remnant people playing?
Just to touch on that myself personally, this is at its core a PvP game, and yes, I understand it's in test, but if they want more players, all they have to do is open up the pool to more people.
Right, I know, but like for the small test at least, I don't mind the PvP having like gloves off, but if you guys keep, you know, doing this to random towns you find where you don't really know who they are or whatever, and people just don't really feel like playing in the next test, and we don't really, I don't really see it being like a good thing, even though you say you're bored, you know, like, is there anything else you can do except for raiding?
But that's on like day
Um,
3 though. I'm on about this is when we actually do day 3, where most of the time either whoever stayed is stayed on, and we
Oh,
raid it.
I thought you were talking
That's what I
about
mean.
like 1 hour
No,
in.
no, not 1 hour in is just the like little quick raid, like we kind of
Okay.
either like annoyance basically kind of
I
thing.
thought we were talking about early game raiding. But all right, let's just move on to the next topic, I guess, because it's early game town defense, which maybe you have some tips. Right? Let's see. Yep. So, early game defense. Rule number 1, which I've learned: don't let planks stay unused when you log off.
yeah, planks are the cause of many early raids, I would say.
Yeah.
Or at least at the beginning when the logging was taking time.
Yep.
But now since since now, I mean, at least the bigger groups or the medium-sized groups have at least 2 people or 3 people on the chopping, and some on the sawbucks. Clanks aren't really dead because of, I would say, because of early raiding.
Right. I don't think early raiding is going to be a thing, honestly.
With early town defense, it's the
Yeah,
you don't know how big your settlement will be, and you don't know how if you will manage to get enough resources to build up the defenses. And
Well-
then there's the manpower.
that's the issue between new players and players who have played at least for 2 tests, right? Is that you've had a few people with you, right? So there's a learning
Yeah.
curve, and the learning curve isn't like, okay, yeah, you got, like you get to start over on day 2. No, you don't. Everyone else is ahead of you if you got set back. So
Yeah.
if you're a new player and you have a bunch of new players with you, and you don't really know anything about the game and you're trying to learn it, and then you build up a bunch of really crappy defenses, and then you get raided, then yeah, that's it. You got to wait for the next test to improve upon that design, and that's just the way it is. So if you've learned your lesson, or like let's say there's someone new here watching the stream right now, what should they plan for early game defense?
I would say try to get in contact with a bigger group or join a random settlement that seems a bit bigger at the beginning, or join up with a couple of friends that have contact with other people. Try to join some quite bigger people and learn from them.
I'm
then
gonna
you're at least
disagree a
prepared.
little bit on that part because he's asking literally if you were in your own town, you had, let's say, your group of people, you're all new, you want to do your own stuff, all your own work. So I guess for a learning curve for people that are just starting new, and of course don't want to join a big town, join random settlement, which is very helpful. I do agree, it does help them because then the other people can teach them of like, oh, this is how you do this, you know, this is how you craft this sort of weapon, or this is how you build your house or your living quarters. For people who don't want to do that and want to kind of do their own thing, I guess you kind of do just have to learn a lot on your own. Like there's only the basic instructions that it tells you at the start.
Yeah, to tell you how to build the house and the
yeah.
bed, but just text-wise.
Yeah,
And
basically.
those 10 pictures.
I mean,
Those 10 pictures at the beginning.
if you're building your own settlement and you're just 1 player or 2 players, it's a good thing to do in the test, but you also have to be kind of realistic with yourself and accept the fact that you're only 1 or 2 players. You're a target. The unfortunate truth.
Mm.
I think I'm thinking back to a couple tests ago when way back when I first met OG. You guys were living on the island.
That's where they came from.
Yeah, right. I built a whole town by myself, and then at a certain point, I realized, oh shit, I have no way to defend this thing. And ultimately, I ended up talking to one person who brought me to that island fortress, and next thing I know, we had a whole battle group, and we actually went back to my town that I had built. I gave them all I gave everybody the food humanly possible that I had in the thing, and we kind of just went on a mini crusade over the southern region of the map at the time.
Oh geez, that must have been a lot of work though. Do you have any pictures of that you can share later?
I could look and see if I even recorded it, but I probably didn't.
Might be a whole video of that island base though, and the whole crusade.
I mean,
there is a video of the island base with me showing up there and eventually us going south somewhere.
It does kind of boil down to it too. I think what you said, was it you, Eagle, who mentioned this at the start of the podcast or before we started, that that the game sort of Foxhole doesn't really cater to solos, and how can this game also cater to solos when they're literally defenseless in that term, and there's not really a discernible front line. It's just free for all basically.
It's going to be an interesting dynamic, honestly. I don't know how it's going to go. I just know what I can suggest to the developers to make it easier for them to manage, honestly. But outside of that,
Yeah, if there was a way for like maybe like so the thing is like there's one thing is the community. Like let's say everyone starts role playing as knights, we would probably get rid of 90% of all. Let's call it raiding someone's farm when they're alone kind of thing. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Humans are humans; they're gonna raid, and the people who get raided are gonna get sad. That's just how it is. But if there was some other way of system, like say, because I think the developers were talking about factions, multiple factions, and I don't know exactly what they wrote, but if there was a way for you to switch factions, if someone came to your farm and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna switch to you guys," something something like that would be kind of interesting. Or like if there was like a wardrobe and you could just dress as like an ancient, and then oh, here comes the remnants, and you switch.
The only issue that I can like logically see with that would be, well, I'm just going to dress my army as remnants now and walk over to the remnant side and be like, "Hi, we're an allied group," and then immediately turn coat and kick their shit in.
What would be interesting is if there were, let's say, neutral parties between the towns. So like the towns themselves, they're either remnant or ancient, but between the towns, if there's like a small settlements, they're neutral. They're not party to any faction. Could that be a way to solve it? And I'm not saying, because what you're saying is obviously very true. People could false flag the shit out of that, but just generally speaking, if there's a solution where people can sort of, because that's a big thing in this game, is people kind of want to do the whole role playing medieval farmer or artisan kind of thing.
Honestly, it's going to be difficult. I don't know what it's going to look like. I have no idea where to predict where it's going to go. I presume that maybe they're going to make being locked to a faction less permanent than they would normally. That's pretty much my easiest yes man agreement to that, because I presume with what they want, it's going to look a little different.
Because if you lose your settlement that you've spent 2 weeks building with your guys, would it be nice if you could just keep your settlement but switch sides and fight your old friends or something, or would that be cringe?
I could see something more along those lines happening.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. But also, there's a lot of faction loyalty. If that was a way to sort of remove that, that would be interesting. I guess I don't know.
That would help definitely get rid of some of like the hardcore faction loyalty stuff, but I don't think it's possible to really ever truly get rid of it.
No, it's just part of any game. But yeah, interesting thoughts. Any other people who want to chime in here, or should I move to the next slide? Because I have some interesting images of an angry German.
So just to say, I don't know, we particularly haven't gone for low level town usually, unless we see like really juicy loot and it's empty and there's like no one there, then we kind of sometimes go for it. But a lot of times we've passed like through loads of small towns that are like along the way we're just like, oh, whatever, it's probably some like new guys testing out the game, right? So we don't really interrupt them. We just kind of let them build, because we're not gonna, as a mighty force, come down, wipe them clean, and be like, all right, we've ruined all your fun little testing progress because you've just tried out the game the first time, right? So we kind of go for usually now just the groups that are really big, and yeah, just focus on them because at least they know what they're doing. They've got guys in the town there that know what they're doing and all that stuff. So yeah.
Well, okay. Do you think that there's at any point some people are training people to like be responsible and stuff like that?
Or what do you mean, as in like as in solo players, or as in like
Groups.
other towns? Groups.
Groups don't usually have the leaders on during the small tests that are usually in, like the lords.
Well, I don't know. Well, it's really, that's also, I guess, situational if the person's on or not. Like, because we don't usually have as well as many people on smaller tests, and just have I guess whoever's available, and just, yeah, I guess they do teach the odd person that is online that's random if they are online or not. But yeah, it's that's, I guess, really situational as well. You gotta say on that part, because if the people are online, they want to learn, they're learning. if they're not online, then you can't really do much. But yeah,
I mean, if you look at this image, by the way, Felix was the one who made all those planks, the 600 planks, and he got his vengeance. Basically, he got really angry. So he just went out of his way to burn down that settlement. But yeah, no, it's interesting just to hear what you think, and also like in the grand scheme of the game, there's going to be an early game, mid game, and late game. So there's a lot of stuff in the game that's not even in the game yet that we're only theory crafting about. We don't know for sure. So maybe there's going to be like an early game siege weapon that people sort of rush to, or so the early raiding concept becomes different than what we're talking about now.
I mean, we also don't know how big the map is really going to become. It might become a moot point to even think about
Yeah.
early game raiding eventually.
Yeah, true. All right. Anyway, I think we've exacerbated that topic, so let's move on to town and castle design. We have about half an hour left, so hope that's okay. But if you guys need a pee break, just go ahead. No judgment. Any particular tips on town and castle design that you guys have found works pretty well?
IG has a pretty awesome meta, so I think they'd be really good to talk about on that one. I don't build stuff typically. I give resources and I just haul stuff over to the boys so they can have their fun and build whatever they desire.
All right, yeah. Well,
The only
Yeah.
thing I can say is a good kitchen goes a long way.
Definitely a good kitchen.
Yeah.
It's a good backbone for every kind of castle or community.
well, I meant like, what about defense?
Defense. Well, you gotta encapsulate the town hall at first, and then you if you have a plan. One of our guys have a spreadsheet or made it in paint and kind of just has his whole plan, all the buildings, where all the buildings go, and etc. And we before that even discuss where we want to build, so we can have optimal placement of nodes, either bare dens and such, iron nodes, stone nodes. But I would say it's as much as a good placement for defense as getting as close to the resources. Because if you know an attack is coming, it's much easier to pull the resources in and then make some defensive fortifications as it is to do double wall around settlement.
Yeah.
So they can't really climb over the first wall. So it's going to be a harder siege for anyone. And if you can, put doors down on the walls, so if they get up on the wall, they're gonna have a hard time bashing down the door. And you can just, if you have other walls inside your main wall, like for example around your town hall, then you can shoot out and hit those guys over on that wall. So small kill boxes kill a lot of the enemy.
Yeah.
To get trapped in them.
Yeah, like kill boxes inside.
Yeah.
But I think I spoke to, was it Soul?
Soul?
Yeah, Soul Raven. Because when it comes to kill boxes, my take on that is that you don't kill those enemies when they get in there, because they're not. I mean, they're stuck. How are they?
Yeah.
How are they supposed to help the siege if they're just sitting there?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Other than that, I've seen also that a lot of people like to put angles or like a protruding stone,
like a citadel.
Well, Well, almost. It's just so
and
that if
strong.
people try to, because people always try to hide from the arrows by
Yes.
hugging the wall. But if you
Yeah.
have like a forward-leaning, what's it called again? Tower.
Citadel?
Tower.
What tower?
Yeah, something like tower. So you can shoot at people from the flank, basically, if they try to hide.
Oh, you're thinking about that forward-facing wall we had on our base, so you can shoot inwards towards the walls.
Yeah, basically.
In last taste.
I think
Uh,
everyone has something like that in
Yeah, I
their
think
wall.
we should implement that more because it's a real a bane to anyone hugging the walls now, and I think that's gonna be a new meta, like the double wall.
Yeah, double. I mean, I don't know if double wall is going to be the meta, but encapsulating your town hall and then having an outer wall, I think that's sort of an early meta. If that's going
Yeah.
to change or not, I don't know.
Well, double wall make it so they can't really use ladders.
Oh, that thing,
Other
yeah.
wall, yeah.
Yeah, he's on about the small wall that you do, basically like the twig fence wall that you put in front of that one, which we've seen multiple times. Yeah, you guys have definitely done very often, which has worked. As I guess, I remember we did try to climb it, I think once with some ladders, and it didn't go well. But this was like
Yeah.
really, this was, I remember the crusade, and this was literally
Yeah.
we were out of resources already, and like we killed through like 3 towns before we got to that one, and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
we've got no more supplies. This is like the final push, and let's just go for it.
At that point, it really felt like Helmsteed. We have the back
Yeah,
to the wall,
was.
and we're just sitting here. Oh shit, we're like 8 or 5 people.
Yeah.
We
You
need
guys had a
help.
lot of archers. I remember that. You guys had a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of archers.
but that was not our clan. That was
Don't say it. Don't. Nope.
Yeah.
IG. It was IG.
It was EL. It was EL. All right. Now EL. All right. Let's just say
yeah, EL.
Yeah.
A bunch of other randoms also came, so
yeah,
we were kind of spreading ourselves out also on the walls, so we had a bigger area. You really prodded and pricked at the wall to see, oh, is it any weak defenses here? Or I remember you were running around the wall to look at the entire thing, just in case we had forgot any place. But oh, Lord behold, Sarri was on top of that one.
Yeah, it is effective. That idea does stop you from using ladders, because the way it works is that it clips first straight to your how do you say it? It clips to that first wall, the small wall.
Yeah.
So you can't get the second ladder at all
And
to hit the second wall. So you got to blow up that first wall before
Yeah.
you could place
I
it.
remember there was so many of your guys got stuck in between, so you're part of the wall now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's funny. All right. I've also found a few designs. So if you guys look at the voice channel, like the text channel in the voice channel in general, this is the design for Deer Keep. I think what Brandoid wrote was that there was one that was the intended design, and then there was one that what it turned into. But I'm not sure which is which.
I believe the intended design is the first one on the left.
Correct. Yeah, the one on the left
And
is
the second one is
intended.
what ended up happening, I believe so slightly. It's a bit
Okay.
different though, because they're
Sure.
instead of if you look at the inner wall, those 4 kind of buildings for crafting materials was not on the inside, it was on the outside. And yeah, it was just basically encased the town hall, and that was about it really.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else was roughly the same. Yeah, it looks like it is, yeah, basically, in a sense.
Honestly, this
a lot of wasted space.
It looks nice though. Like this map, I really like it. I like personally, I am a subscriber to like a Reddit called like Paper Towns, where people post pictures of towns in like paper format, like it's drawn. It's so beautiful, and this is just giving me massive. I don't know what the word I should use, but I really like this Brandoid. So if you're watching, keep up, keep doing that, and just if you can share it, unless it's like some sort of secret meta that you guys need to
I don't
Keep to
think I don't know
yourself.
if it's I don't know if this is secret. I think he just drew it out somehow himself. I
No, he
think he just
posted
got, like,
this. I think in the I don't know where he posted it. He posted it somewhere.
I know,
just-
but I mean, like, as in the art style that he used. I think he just like got stuff himself and used the map, and that was about it, really.
It was
Most of the
MS.
stuff.
Is it
It was
is it
MS Paint.
Microsoft? Is it really?
Yeah,
Damn, MS Paint.
I
It
was there
doesn't
for
look
some of
like
it.
it though.
Probably might not be. I'm not sure.
3D Paint.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No,
He
because it
must have.
looks like it looks. It could be that was it the 3D tool that they make. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it looks great. I really like. So number one, if the remnants had actually attacked you guys, they would have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4 walls to get to the town hall, right?
Yep.
But I think, and this is basically it's on top of a mountain, isn't it? For the most
No,
part.
no. This is all of that is flat ground. The only
Really?
mountainous part is the backside, where there's cliffs. So where the water is on the back, where the tents are, that's all cliffs. Up to basically each point. Basically where there's no hexagonal tower, that's where like
Okay.
the cliffs are.
Yeah. Okay.
Roughly.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like for us to get through all that, that would take probably 120, 200 people to do that, and assuming that you guys weren't there.
Oh
If
no, I think there was quite a lot of us still on OG players. There's quite a few of us that are very committed to the
crack-
game.
Crack addicts.
that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's good.
We're very just stuck there, kind of building constantly, kind of draining our lives.
Yeah, people neglecting sleep.
Have you guys? I did see this on the base because I toured your base, and I built a few designs of my own. Although I think one of them's kind of broken. If you look at the same map, or sorry, same channel. So, what have you thought about making? What I would call this is a bunker. It means that because I remember. Do you remember that Neo and OG had like a? Oh shit! I said the thing.
Oh no.
We're all gonna die.
All right. Anyways,
the word.
All right, just pretend that didn't happen. There was a battle on a bridge battle, and
Yes.
next to the bridge there was a keep, and in the keep there was a door, and in the inside that little there was a dude, and you guys just got so fixated on that dude. For some reason, he was in this keep. He didn't really do anything, but there was like 6 or 7 of you guys just sitting there, begging him to open the door. I just thought that if there was a dude with a bow and arrow and food in there, he could probably stay there for a while. Maybe even 3 guys, and they would be annoying.
Yeah, there are. We have done, I believe. So when before the bunk beds and all that other new beds that were added in, you did have the fort kind of beds that you were able to build. So whenever you got attacked, your spawn got set to that castle instantly. So basically, your spawn is now that bed, and you will spawn in that fort or castle, whatever it's built. And it's, I guess, nice little protected building that you have, nice and secure. The only problem I think we haven't been building those recently is because of the price of those fort beds, which is just insane, and because they haven't got a bunk bed version as well for it, so it's kind of very, very, I don't know, just pricey for the amount that you have to build for. But yeah, there is a way to just make stuff like that that's very effective, 100%. Because we've done the staircase one that you have there with like the doors, kind of like making like an airlock.
Yeah, airlock. Yeah, that's what I call it too.
So we've done that every time. Every time we've built forts, defense walls, even. So that whole defense wall perimeter had all of those staircases and even like sections. Basically, we cut it off into sections.
Yeah, so
So that,
like cells, so they get
yeah,
stuck in the cell. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So if they got through the wall, like as in they climbed up the ladder and they're on that wall, they can't do much except defend that little location that they're in, because if they jump down then across the wall, they can't get back up, so they're stuck basically. in a sense. So yeah, for doing that, they would have to have some sort of torches or flasks, maybe to break down the doors to get to the next, section, or to at least allow them to get up the staircase back up again and leave. So that's definitely a very good effective way to keep your castles and walls and everything else defended.
Ink just shared this image. Is this part of your strategy as well? Can OG comment on this? This is an official meta.
This was a fun matter. This was to torture our townspeople.
That's the way you do it.
It really was. It was we start yeah, that was like the boring section of of the test. We were like seeing if anyone spawns in today, who's gonna be actually jumping over the fences and who's actually gonna follow the maze.
Jesus.
So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
it's like IQ test. Is that what it was?
kind of, yeah. It was like
Oh.
a science test, like
We call it a litmus test. Are you dumber than a fourth grader?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's
yeah, we
funny.
left a little bit of like a treat on the end of each of them. So it's like, oh, is the rat gonna follow the maze and go to the treat, or is he gonna go straight over the walls?
Yeah. So in Mars to Studio, we've sort of let our imagination fly. So hold on. We had this one. Midnight is an old friend of mine, and he draws these really nice pictures. And it is my I'm gonna use the word. I'm gonna use the F-bomb. It's my fetish. Like I really like these kinds of things. They're so beautiful, and I just I know that this doesn't necessarily hold up to the game, but you could create something similar to this. And yeah, I don't know. I think it this is what motivates me to just spend hour after hour just playing the game and just never logging off, because you just want to have this feeling of belonging to something so, I don't know, beautiful, and it's yours kind of thing. Even though it's like a game, I get it, but you know how we get sentimental. This thing really gets me sentimental. I think we have a few other designs too. This one is Maddie's Town. That's the
So just to show off quickly, also how we last test. There's a photo just loading up now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let me put that in.
So that's like the rough kind of, I guess, I think everyone does this. I think nowadays now, just doing this kind of setup where you have the little extended pieces on the walls just to cover the sides a little bit if anyone's hugging the wall, like you said.
Yeah.
And then you got the scorpions as well, just there for, I guess,
It's good
for
practice.
fun as well.
You know what would be cool if the because I mean you guys aren't really making airlocks here, so it's just a door standing in the middle of the open. But whatever, like if they could make it so that you could have upgrade them to like grates so that they're made of iron, and then the devs could make like a handheld battering ram, basically, that works against doors. They don't work against gates or walls, but they work against doors really well. And so there could be like a little mini game there. When you get up there, you bring the dude with the handheld ram. That would be kind of
We've
cool.
been actually talking about that very often. How so because of new sieging equipment, we don't get much sieging equipment. So we kept saying that maybe we should have the broad axe actually allow to damage wooden items, but not
Oh
not
yeah.
not like thick wooden items. So
Not
it's
like
like
the
space.
walls.
Yeah, not like walls, not like the walls, because the walls are too. Maybe a twig wall. A twig wall, I
Yeah,
guess you
twig
could
wall.
still break through, but tier 2, no, you can't. At that point, you're not allowed. Fort walls as well, you can't. But like maybe doors, like something really cheap and easy, like maybe fences, uh, tier 1 houses or something, and maybe even the tier 2s because it's like thatch, so it's not like super strong either. I don't know, like very specific items, of course, but like at least allow that possibility for the broad axe, because it's like the big heavy axe that you have that breaks shields, but you can also use it as a siege weapon to break through, you know, certain doors and other stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Things that the RAM can't reach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
basically, yeah.
Yeah. Also, here is a design made by Celery, Fuck Celery from the Iron Guard clan. I think this is the one you guys used for in August or July testing. He gave me permission to share it. But I think it looks pretty nice, and I think this is the one with the double wall steel hand that you were talking about. Oh wait, do you guys see it on the stream? I can just post it in the
Yeah,
in the channel.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I see. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, no, I think that looks great. And then let's see here. This is the one I made for my town initially, without having played the game. So I don't know. It probably isn't that good now that I have played it a while. And then wait, hold on. Let me post that. So this is what I sort of I used Google Drawings, and then my clanmate Maddie Tusax, he drew this. And I don't know. I think my design is better than his.
You should probably give him a ruler so those lines become a bit more, straight.
That's awesome.
No offense, Maddie.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I think if Maddie's gonna yell at me later. I don't mind though. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna post that if it's cool with you.
That's fine. So yeah, that was the kitchen within our last test.
It's a tavern.
Kind of. It's got a little bit of both. It's got like the little, I guess, dining room on the side there, and then you got the main kitchen, which we used very well. It was basically to make it effective and just very useful in a sense to have the cooking going in and out, and then place straight onto the table if finished.
That looks so beautiful. I was actually there. Honestly, it just makes me want to have like a, like let's say that if there was a gameplay feature where you can get like a special kind of thing that allowed you to just traverse the land without being killed by enemies, and then you could sort of like, I don't know, do pilgrimage or I don't know, just explore, because it is kind of like, if you think about it, it's kind of sad that all these beautiful towns are being made and you'll never be able to visit them in the actual game because you're an enemy. I think exploring is going to be such a big part of this game because of what people come up with what they build. Man, that's so cool. I really like that. Makes me really want to play. Oh well. But cooking is kind of annoying. I don't like cooking cabbages. That's the worst.
It's not the easiest one.
You think? I don't know, man. Just
Yeah,
It is the easiest.
all
the
the
easiest
water.
one.
It's so boring.
Oh
hate
no,
it.
it's not that bad. Like I think it's just water and cabbage, right? But I think the hardest one is the
Or the bread or whatever.
the bread's more tedious is what I
Yeah.
like to call it. But there is harder recipes as well. But yeah, it's Ink knows best because he's the. I'm gonna let him say it actually because he's the chef usually. So yeah.
I don't want to go too crazy into it, but I mean, honestly, yeah, if mass producing bread is definitely the hardest thing ever because you're micromanaging the water, but then you're also running around trying to micromanage the grain, and it's just becomes a nightmare. Anything past 4, you're an absolute madman. Anything past 4 ovens, I mean, I've got it down to like a science now. Four ovens, 1 hearth.
Oh,
Don't
oh,
run 'em
you
both.
you're gonna think our guy is mad. He has 6 ovens and I don't know 6 halves.
How
Yeah.
many
Man,
people help
But
him though?
but is he actually running all of them?
He's
all the
running
time?
all of it.
Yeah, we have a French
He's a
chef,
mad.
and
He's such a mad man.
we
So cool.
yeah, it's kind of cool that people who become chefs, they become sort of well known in your town. Like everyone knows who the chef is. It's kind of funny to think about.
It's because they vote for themselves to become that chef.
Yeah, but it's like the most important role, kind of, isn't it? Because you just
It is, yeah. It's because without that, then you have no food supply. You have nothing to eat. Your character starves. You end up dying, or Like, especially if you're getting sieged, you need that food because
Yeah.
that food provides health extra, gives you more stamina, gives it everything. So
I think
without
from behalf of everyone here on the podcast, just to all you Anvil chefs out there, thank you so much. You guys are a godsend. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. It's getting late, so I think. Wait, was that another image? Oh, it ain't much, but it's honest work. Good one, Ink. It is actually quite a lot. It's really nice, and it looks so good when you got a table full of food that looks just completely stocked. I love that. But yeah, I think we're gonna come to the end of the podcast now. I hope that's okay with you guys. The next podcast isn't gonna be after the next test. It's gonna be after the big one, the 15th, and it'll probably be sometime in January maybe. So I hope that's okay for everyone.
I might be there.
Cool. Yeah, I'll try to put it on the Sunday because I think Saturdays aren't that great for people. Although there were way more people showed up than I expected. I thought it would be me and Steelhand, which would be great. But yeah, thank you guys for spending 2 hours of your Saturday here with me. That shows a lot of commitment, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right.
No problem. Take care, buddy.
This is a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a real nice, enjoyable little evening. Just talking about stuff we all like.
Oh, we do this every day, man. You should come to our see our Discord.
You should join our
sometime.
clan, man. We talk about this shit every day.
Some
Oh yeah. On
We're
that note, don't forget to
disgusting,
join the
actually.
Astream War host. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the name of
There's
is
Sign up now.
what
OG.
is OG stand for? Is it just OG? Is that the name of your clan? OG? I heard them say that in game. OG. OG.
No, it's
That was-
No, it's
Ugh.
not. It's OG, isn't it? Ooga.
Yeah, we are the Ooga Oogas here.
Yeah.
Ugan's rock.
All right. Yeah. You guys take it easy. Bye bye.
Oh god, it's out.
Yep.